Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. As Wallace mentioned, I lost 51.5 pounds in 4 months for the Geek Fitness Challenge. But if I can do it, if I can lose that weight, so can all of you. There is nothing special about Garrett Gray. Although, for the record, my beautiful wife, Mandy, would disagree with me on that. I want to show you a picture, share with you a picture of me at my heaviest. Right before the challenge, here I am alongside famed comic book creator Stan Lee. And here I am immediately after the challenge, again next to Stan Lee, but a much thinner version of Garrett Gray. Now, I'm going to pass these out so you guys can get a closer look. Please distribute them throughout the crowd. Who here saw the movie The Avengers? Stan Lee created many of the characters in that movie, as well as many of the other popular superheroes that star in other movies. Ever the Salesman. A trademark of Stan Lee is to put a sizzling adjective in front of his superheroes' names. For example, the Amazing Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, the Fantastic Four. These are Stan Lee creations. Batman is not a Stan Lee creation. I know, I'm a geek, but that's how I got into this Geek Fitness Challenge. Today I'm going to talk about how eating the right food and drink for this Geek Fit Challenge made me feel better this past year. On the first day of the challenge, my trainers, Marcus Warren and Joey Thurman of Morph Personal Fitness, gave me proper diet and nutrition advice. I'm going to pass this around as well for you guys to take a gander at. The devastatingly handsome one is me, of course. Marcus is on your left and Joey is on your right. Their first rule of thumb was, do not eat something unless it had grown or it had moved. If it was processed or full of chemicals, avoid it. Organic meat, vegetables, fruits, and nuts met the criteria of their rule of thumb. Chips, candy, and fast foods did not. But if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so I started planning all my meals and snacks well in advance anywhere I went, so that I would not stray from eating healthy. At family get-togethers, I made sure I had healthy alternatives available. I would even go so far as smuggling in carrots to snack on during halftime at the Chicago Bulls game, so that I wouldn't be tempted by the concession stand. And all through this competition, Mr. Australia Marcus Warren, anytime he'd see me, he'd lead off with, "How do you feel, Garrett?" And I was always like, what? Not, how much weight have I lost? How do my clothes fit? Not, wow, you look like an Adonis, Garrett? How do you feel, Garrett? Well, as I learned progressing through this challenge, I began to understand what Marcus meant. Eating better foods made me feel better. Comedian Jim Gaffigan does a lot of stand-up routine on unhealthy foods, like the Hot Pockets in the frozen food section at your grocery store. I'm going to share with you a clip, and you can note the familiar theme.
Mom was like, I've never eaten a Hot Pocket and then afterwards been, I'm glad I ate that. Mom was like, I'm gonna die. I paid for that? Did I eat it or rub it on my face? My back hurts. Oh.
Funny jokes, which lead to a not-so-funny story. A coworker of mine took a company truck out, and on his way out, he stopped at the gas station and made the mistake of putting diesel fuel into a truck that only took regular gasoline. A mile down the road, the truck started to shake and rattle, cough and sputter until it broke down on the side of the road with a black billow of smoke emanating from the engine. It caused a lot of damage to the truck, and it cost money to repair that damage. He put the wrong fuel into the truck, and surprise, surprise, it didn't function properly. Well, it's no surprise that when we put the wrong fuel into our bodies, they don't function properly either. Eat healthy, people, because you are what you eat.